Hey everybody, and thanks for joining me again on another episode of Straight Jacket White Rabbit. As always, I'll be your host. My name's Adam. Today we're going to be delving into the world of secret societies, guys. Now, specifically what I'm going to be talking about is the role of these secret societies all over the world. I am aware that there are a lot of secret societies. I am not going to mention even large secret societies. I am not going to mention you guys because they're not part of the presentation this time. I might go in on some of them later, but for now, sit back and enjoy the show. So, first of all, I want to tell you how I see secret societies, okay? I see them as cogs in a wheel ran by a top tier echelon of secret members to an elite section of secret society. Basically, the top of them all secret society runs all the other ones, using them to do things like finance their goals, influence media, even to plan wars, control banking, control economics, control resources, water, food, agriculture, all these things, you guys. And this is how I'm going to break it down for you. Okay, so out of the world of secret societies, I'm going to start in the smaller ones. A lot of them seem to be based in colleges or meant for people around college age, I'll say. Most notably of which is probably the Skull and Bones group. They're from Yale University, go back a long time. Members include George Bush and his father, a bunch of other people that are famous. Their specific job in this cog, I believe, is to do information. A lot of these members tend to move on to organizations like the CIA, okay? They're information gatherers. They're people who deal in misinformation and things of this ilk. Their members are lifetime, you guys. These people are very serious about this stuff. They take their oaths very seriously, and any information that comes out about their groups, you can almost guarantee that if it came from a member who's not an ex-member, it's probably disinformation, you guys. Societies like this, the Seven, there's a bunch of different secret societies, you guys, that are all around the world, that are college-age, entry-level societies, and most of them, their members go on to be high-ranking individuals in some kind of an informational field, government information to be more specific. Now, whether it's the Order of the Skull and Bones or the Seven or any of these other secret societies that are college level, I believe those to be bottom rung, okay? Those are the ones who run the smaller management of things as far as the objectives of the leaders. Now, going on from Skull and Bones level, college level secret societies, which are still a big deal, you guys. I'm anti anything secret. I believe their secrets are kind of a necessary evil in some cases, but they're still evil, okay? A necessary evil is still an evil. I do believe things in national defense, stuff like that. There are certain degrees of necessary evil in our world, you guys. Now, that being said, I do believe that, like I said, a large number of these secret societies are all working for one major group. Next up on the totem pole from the bottom rung college level entrances to secret societies, you have the next step up, which would be like the middle or the hierarchy groups, I guess you could say. These are going to be your Bilderbergs, your Freemasons. And I know everyone's like, Freemasons, a low-level group. You guys, Freemasons, they have a lot of influence, don't get me wrong. They're still a high-level group. They're just not the highest level group, in my opinion. Then you have the Illuminati above the Freemasons, okay? The Illuminati have had vast reach for a very long time. There's even rumors that a lot of members of the Illuminati were actually gained members from when they were disbanding the Knights Templar, you guys. Now, that's unconfirmed. We don't know for sure. But a lot of people believe that the members from the Knights Templar who are on the run, if you remember, the Knights Templar, you guys, started getting hunted down. They were so wealthy and so powerful, you guys, that the Knights Templar used to actually donate money to kings and queens of different countries on loans. They were rich enough to fund loans and float loans to kings and queens. I'll let that sit in, okay? They're a very wealthy group. However, at one point they denied a loan mistakenly to a king of France, who then had them persecuted, hunted down, and a few of them even burnt at the stake in France. I believe that a lot of the members for this society went to what I'll call a lot of their brother and sister societies, you guys. Like I said, the Illuminati, the Freemasons, these groups. I believe a lot of these groups took in those people from the Knights Templar. There is even rumors that some of the Knights Templars later founded Opus Dei. Those of you who don't know, that's another Catholic organization, secret society. They are a little more extreme. They tend to do self-penance by self-harm. They tie spiked hooks around their thighs, these little straps with all these little hooks in them around their thighs that just dig into their skin. They do all kinds of messed up stuff to basically atone for their sin. Now, a lot of people believe that, like I said, some of the Knights Templar made their way into either found or become members of Opus Dei. However, there is a sect of people who believe the exact opposite, that Opus Dei was founded in opposition to the Knights Templar, even though both of them were fighting basically for the same reasons. Now you get to what I believe is the top of the major, we'll call it cabal, for lack of a better word, the top of the major secret societies, you guys. And we get to things like the Committee of 300. This is where it gets really shady. Our information is not good from here on, guys. I'm just letting you know this. The Committee of 300 is a secret society that people have been talking about for quite a while. It actually has like 5 different names. We don't know a lot about any famous members. We don't know a lot about their membership period. We don't even know an origin story for this, except for the fact that it's been spoken about for a very, very long time, well over 100 years. Now, the Committee of 300, you guys, is so secret that not only do we have almost little to no idea of what they're involved in, but they have an innate ability to stay out of the media. I mean, all secret societies do. They're secret, don't get me wrong. But almost every secret society has had news stories put out about them at some point or another by major media. Usually it's some fluff piece. Oh, look, there are a bunch of kids at school that are doing this as a harmless, like they're fraternities or something like that. You guys, they downplay it, but they do mention them. The Committee of 300 gets almost zero mention from mainstream media ever that I've ever been able to look up. I've seen reports in, historical documents talking about them from people as high up as vice presidents and things of this nature. But I've never actually seen any major network, newspaper, short of nowadays like online YouTube, things like this, you can find literally almost no information on this group, you guys. They are the top tier secret of secret societies. A lot of people believe that they're the very top, that they're the ones giving the orders. They're the ones that are calling the shots on what to do and where to go. Now, I'm not saying that's not true. I do believe they're the top as far as the cog goes, okay? I do not believe they're the ones giving these secret societies their orders, however. I believe that the orders are given to all of these societies, with certain ones' abilities to have more power based on their access in the world. They're given specific jobs: control the media, control your resources, control the news, control the population. This means, you guys, and when I say control the population, this includes things like starting and ending major wars, letting loose pandemics and epidemics, letting the slaughter of millions of people in other countries, or thousands of people over the course of a few years, millions over the course of history, die out. Via prison, with things I'm talking, when I say let them die out, I'm talking about things they could have prevented with the power and influence these people hold, but they chose not to because it suits their agenda, which is to cull the population of this planet to a reasonable level. What's reasonable? That depends on who you ask. A lot of people have thrown out a lot of numbers, you guys, over the year. 500,000, 500 million, a half a million, or not a half a million, I'm sorry, a half a billion. I've even heard people say as high as 1 trillion people. And I'm like, we're not even, like a trillion? But it all depends on who you talk to. There's a lot of information on this. I'm not going to guess a number, what number they want to shave us down to, but I do believe the one thing they all have in common is correct. They're trying to depopulate our planet. Now, do I mean they want everyone dead? No, of course not. Where's the fun in ruling if you have no one to rule over? But you have to understand, you guys, these societies have been responsible for wars. I mean, they're literally intelligence officers, high-ranking military officials, presidents, vice presidents are in these secret societies, you guys. I mean, look at, I want to tell you about, there are places like Bohemian Grove, you guys. Those of you who don't know, Bohemian Grove is a meeting place of the elite in Northern California. Well, I think it's Central California, Northern Central-ish California. It might be Northern California. Bohemian Grove, you guys, has been used by organizations. Not just one secret society goes to Bohemian Grove. There are many. The Illuminati have been said to use it. Skull and Bones, Bilderbergs used it. Freemasons have used it. A lot of people use this. There was even an officially documented case where they actually, you guys, before they did the explosion of the nuclear bomb, Oppenheimer and a lot of these other people of high-ranking military ilk and scientific ilk met here to discuss moving forward with this. So it's not an uncommon thing what's going on in the world with the control that we're seeing these things exert. These groups exert this control over us. They want to control what you do, what you think. They control the programming you watch on TV. You think you have a choice of whether you're an independent, a Democrat, a Republican? You don't. They're playing it's an illusion of choice, you guys. Both parties are the same thing. And that includes other countries. This is not just here. This is in the UK. This is in Germany. This is in India. There are what I consider to be 6 major contributors to what I believe is the controllers of the secret societies, guys. You can't even find a name on this. Everyone just speculates who they are, and I'm not going to do that. I am going to give you a name. And the reason I believe in this name is because of a couple of interviews given back in the 60s and 50s. There were very odd interviews given by elites when they talked to media. It seems to be a slip of the tongue, but they said that a couple members of their nations had just gotten back, but it was from these specific nations, and we believe they all met. Now, here's where it gets a little... It's supposed to be, if I remember right, it's Russia, China, Germany, the United States, the European Union, and India that are supposed to be these, and according to intelligence that I've looked up and just general gut intuition, this is what I believe, you guys. I believe that there are 2 emissaries. I could be wrong. I believe there are 2 emissaries allowed from each of these nations. They're not necessarily political in any way, you guys. These could be They could be political. They could be kings, queens, princes, presidents, members of parliament. I don't know. But they're influential people in these countries. They could be the billionaires, the tech startup billionaires. I don't know who they are, so please don't ask. If you have any guesses, I'd love to hear them. But I'm going to call these group of people for right now the 12, because 6 major nations that I believe are involved. And there's reasons I believe these nations are involved as opposed to other nations. But I believe 6 major nations are involved. 2 people apiece from each nation get the majority say-so. And they hold court with these groups, these secret societies. And each one acts like a filter of information. The low levels feed the middle levels, feed the high levels, feed them. And they all enact a plan, you guys, that seems to be global depopulation, control of media, and control of resources. That's a really easy why. The why is control, you guys. They want to make sure that they can control every aspect of our lives. They want to make sure that they can control the food supply. They want to make sure that they can control the population so that it's manageable. And a lot of people are like, well, population control could be a good thing if we get overpopulated. Yeah, and, colonizing people on an island because they have leprosy could be a good idea if you don't want to catch leprosy. But I'd rather just find a cure for it and deal with it than just shove people off to the side. Culling a major civilization is not a way to expand your resources or make your resources stretch longer. How about we all stop fighting each other, get along, and then we can do things like colonize other spaces, colonize the parts of our planet we haven't even used, for crying out loud. Okay, you're telling me that we as a world people could not come up with technology to float a city, or use that space for living for people, or fix our own atmosphere, or any of this other things you don't think we can do? You guys, we are a smart species, okay? We've come a long way. Now, whether you believe that's because of the technology leap from UFO reverse engineering, or you believe we did it on our own, I don't care. The point is we are obviously an intelligent species, enough to the point where we can do the things that we've done so far in our history. That being said, there are obviously strings being pulled behind the scenes with these organizations. Like I said, each one seems to have a particular individual goal. Like I said, with the Skull and Bones, they seem to be more information and security, CIA, national intelligence organizations. Even over in Europe, part of the Ministry of Defense, there are said to have been members who are Skull and Bones members. So, I mean, it really seems to be intelligence with that particular secret society. But you have other ones, you guys, like Bilderberg, which focuses on bankers, the elites from media, heads of royal families, or representatives, I should say, of royal family, as well as heads of royal family, previous presidents, and other political parties. So things like the Bilderberg and stuff seem to be more of, the open-aired political range, the media and the free media, supposedly. These are all controlled in the groups like the Bilderbergs. Then you have groups like the Illuminati, you guys, and the Illuminati are one of the groups that do things like international warfare. A lot of people believe they're involved in the funding of biological weapons. They also travel in some information, yes, absolutely. Like I said, the information funnels upward, not downwards. So the smaller level organizations only know what they know, but they feed that up into the bigger organizations, which feed it up into the bigger organizations, which feed it up into the 12, or that's what I'm calling them. Now, like I said, I have no basis to call them the 12, you guys. There could be 50. I have no clue. These are just based on some reports that I've read. Most of them are very old, so who knows how reliable they are now. And like I said, most of them were reports of people who cut off their sentences or cut interviews short, including two who did it with a newspaper in the EU. They actually just ended their interviews altogether because this was brought up. Now, nobody seems to know this group's name, which amazes me. I mean, maybe some people do, I'm sure. There are some smart people out there. But one thing's for sure, you guys, these groups are not running independently of each other. Are there independent secret societies? Absolutely. There's no questioning that there are independent secret societies out there. That's not what I'm talking about. There is a large cabal of secret societies out there that are all working together over, or under, I should say, one umbrellaed group, which I'm going to call, like I said, the 12. These 12 want control of absolutely everything. And you guys, they're getting close to having it. They don't actually have complete control yet. They're getting there, though. Our media's unreliable at best in any major country. It doesn't matter what country you're in, you guys. This is not a United States thing. This is a global issue. The media is controlled by branches of government like the Ministry of Defense, the CIA, Department of Homeland Security, all of these things for different nations. When they control the media, that was their best step, okay? They took over the media back between the 1920s and 50s is what the general consensus is in the world. The free media hasn't been the free media since that era. Then they went in and this is, like I said, this is not just news media like on TV, guys. These are newspapers, I mean, major political outlets, all kinds of things. The problem with this is the reason they don't have complete control yet is because they haven't been able to obtain everything yet. They haven't been able to obtain all food sources yet, which, thank God. They're getting close to water sources, you guys. And people go, how can they control all the water of the ocean? Because most of us can't distill enough water to keep our families alive from an ocean, you guys. We don't have the technical capabilities nor the government permission to do so, which you do need in most countries. I mean, heck, look at here in the U.S. There are states where we're not even allowed to catch rainwater. Rainwater! I can't catch water falling from the sky? Are you joking? I mean, when they get water, food, you guys and me, we're all screwed. Because when they get it all locked down 100%, then we have no choice but to comply. Right now, we still have a chance to fight, to press with our freedoms. But it takes everyone wanting to press. And you guys, we're living in a society where they're winning. They're dumbing people down with the general media. They're dumbing people down with the school systems. And nobody's paying attention to this for some reason. There's something major going on behind the scenes as far as it seems to be, and I know everybody says this, but I believe it's true. It really seems to me that we are on the precipice of being a one world ran government. We are very close to being run by an openly ran one world government, guys. And I honestly believe that when they get the entirety of the water and the food locked down 100% and they own it and they control all of it, you're going to see them come out and they're going to make a very big announcement. And it's probably going to be under the guise of, we're running out of food for all the people on Earth. We have to start making sure that we use our resources more wisely. Or we're running out of natural resources. Something to that effect is going to come up. Mark my words, be it fresh water, food, some kind of natural resource is going to start running drastically low out of nowhere. Guys, that's all BS. This planet has more than enough to sustain the people who are on it currently. We do not need to cut down our populations right now. We do not need to, freak out because there's no more meat, or the beef supply is running out, or the pork supply is running low, or the fish supply is running low. It's not happening, guys. But what is happening is these major corporations who are part of this conspiracy, because their members are in these societies, are buying up all of your food. They're buying up all of these food manufacturers. They're buying up all of your water manufacturers. Look at the controversy with just a few years back with Nestle buying up all the water rights. Okay, these companies like Nestle and stuff, man, they're not good companies. They work for these secret societies. They're trying to take over a global amount of resources. This is not like a power grab for a lake, you guys, or, you know, the Midwest's cattle supply. This is a world food supply, world drinking supply, resources, critical resources needed for life. And they're being taken up faster than you can watch. Do some research on it. All these companies are being bought up by subsidiaries of the same damn companies. And they're all being bought up by these same companies, these same like 8 to 10 companies worldwide. And they're all buying up food. They're all buying up water. Forget oil. Yes, some of them have their fingers in oil and other types of like lucrative businesses. But look what they're doing behind the scenes. There are oil companies right now, you guys, who are divesting and spending more on purchasing the rights to natural aquifers for water than they're actually spending on production for oil. Why? Because water is going to be a hell of a lot more. You think oil is expensive? You can live without oil. You cannot live without water. You will die. There's people like T. Boone Pickens who died, who left his to God knows who. I don't know who all his water rights went to entirely because it's been handed off a couple times now. But T. Boone Pickens, one of the largest water aquifer owners in the entire U.S., told people back in, I think it was the 70s or 80s, you guys, he said, you know, he was on an interview, and I believe the interviewer asked him something like, well, you really expect people are going to pay for water? And he goes, they'll go thirsty if they don't. And he goes, people need water to live. And he goes, that's why they'll pay. You guys, these are rights. Water is a right, okay? It's something you need to survive. It's a right. Food should be a right. I am a very big, and I know we sell food now. It's not a right now, but it is, you guys. It should be. Food you should not have to buy. Food should be given and provided by the nations that we live in, because it is a right to you for you to live. Can you live without food? No. In a lot of these places, you can't even grow your own food without some kind of crazy permit. Not enough to sustain you and your whole family, at least. These secret societies are coming for us all, and they're coming for our resources. It's up to people like me and you and you and you and you and you and you to stop them. Enough of the humor, I know. But it's up to us to stop them, you guys. Because if left unchecked, I guarantee you future generations are going to be held under the oppressive thumb like never before. You think we're losing rights at a rapid pace now? You think we live in only a semi-free society now? Give it 30 more years. Because our children and our children's children are going to be living in a straight-up dystopian society of just epic, disastrous proportions, you guys. And the 12, the Committee of 300, the Freemasons, the Bilderbergs, the Illuminati, the Skull and Bones, the Opus Deis, all of these groups, you guys, they're all in on it together. Everyone thinks that they're all separate. They're not. Yes, there are separate societies, but these big ones, you guys, they all are the same thing. They're cogs in a wheel. They're all doing their job to support the wants and needs of the few at the top. And only we can stop them. Keep looking for truth. Keep pushing for answers. Hold your government accountable. Hold your elected officials accountable. And more than anything, hold your friends and loved ones close and open your eyes to the truth. This has been Straight Jacket White Rabbit, and I'm Adam Tice. You guys have a great evening. I appreciate you watching.